basically what you have here, get your clutch, which also acts as a brake. This is your brake. You don't have to use that. You can pretty much use just the clutch by itself, and it'll get you by on most things. But for when you've got a heavy load, you're also going to want to use the brake in addition. This is your gas. It's a little sensitive, but you know you're not going to be going 90 miles an hour. Here you've got forward, neutral, reverse. This is your emergency brake, and you will want to engage that because if the forklift ever starts moving, it's going to be tough to stop it, especially if it's on an incline. Your horn, which works the same as a car horn, and it's extremely necessary because sometimes people can't hear you or they don't see you for whatever reason, and you're going to want to use it. I don't know if you can even see that, but this will be your hours, the hours of use on the forklift. It's got a little, let's see, that little blinking thing, that little blinking hourglass is going to be showing you that it's logging hours as you speak. For every hour that it's operating, it's going to add one more to it. That is not miles, that's hours. Also, you've got your heat gauge here, and that's also very crucial because if it ever goes into the red, then odds are you've got something clogging up somewhere, so it's best just to clean these out. In my workplace here, we oftentimes, at least once a week, try to blow our forklifts out with compressed air to keep them clean and keep them from getting too hot. Okay. This is your blinkers, the same as a car. You got it right, left, and you got your headlights, which those turn on, I don't know, I guess the marker lights maybe, but turn them all the way, and you've got your lights. Let's see, you've got 3 shift levers on this particular forklift, and I'm not sure what you call it, but I can tell you what it does. This button here, it would normally have a cover over it. This is going to be the main one you use. As you watch the forks, I'll pull down. And if you give it a little gas, which some people prefer you don't do that with their forklifts, but if you give it a little gas, it'll cause it to go a little faster. That's up, pulling down, pushing up, that's down. Now for the second one. You'll have to watch very closely for this one. When I push down, the forks tilt down. It's more of an angle thing. When I pull down, they go up. And they only go so far, but pretty good for whatever you need them for. Now onto the button. If you frequently find yourself going under pallets or anything that you pretty low, you're gonna want these things kind of leveled out, not pointing up or pointing down. So here's where the button comes in. It doesn't work on this forklift, so I can't really give you a good idea of it, but once you get used to using it, you'll get an idea of where your forks need to be, so you can still use it, and it'll train you to not even have to use the button anymore, and you'll just be able to put it where it needs to be every time. Okay, so if you wanted to get these things leveled out, which they're pointing up right now, you would press the button and push it forward to push it back down. And with the button, when it works, oh, well, it did work. What do you know? See, sometimes it gets a little moisture in there. That's, again, why I said it has the cover over it, which this one doesn't. You would, before you even move it, push the button, push it forward. You hear that sound? It's trying to let you know it's not going any farther. It's pushing all the pressure it can to get those things leveled out for you. Okay, your third one, that's your side shifter. You push it up, you go left. You push it down, you go right. Now, that's going to help you out somewhat. And if you're trying to put a pallet somewhere in a tight spot, It'll give you a little bit of extra where you can't drive. But for most of the time, you're going to want to make sure this would be my center bar right here. That one and the one beside it over here that you can't see. So most of the time, you're going to want to keep that thing dead center between these two right here. And that's basically it. You've got your tanks. I guess I can go ahead and show you how to switch your tanks out. This particular tank has your on-off valve, and as they say, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. That's important. You don't have to open it all the way, but when you open it, make sure it's enough to get some pressure into that coupling, because it's got to have enough to start. These gauges, when it's on its side, this one's about empty. As you see, this arrow is going to point to one of the two. It's telling me this one's about empty. Now, whenever you pick this thing up and set it, with this facing up, this is going to be the one you look at. It'll tell you okay here or okay here, and that's indicating that it's full. This right here, when it's in the middle, anywhere, it's empty. This is your fill valve, which you'll have a coupling on your main tank to fill it up. It screws on. You'll want to make sure you get it tight. And once you get it on there, you open your release valve all the way up until you can't hear it getting any louder. It'll release some pressure, and you can start filling. Once it starts spewing propane or the liquid propane, it's time to shut your release valve, turn your reservoir off, and you're done. That's it.